This is our fourth video preparing you for PreAP chemistry. And this goes to the topic of matter and energy so that we can talk about kinetic and potential energy. What is energy? Well, in popular culture, energy has many connotations. One dictionary tells us that energy is strength of expression, as in a high-energy political speech. The same dictionary confuses energy and power, which in physics are two related but different things. So it's best if we focus on the scientific definition. In physical science, energy is capacity to do work, to do something, to make something, or to express something. So a fuel like gasoline has stored energy that can do work when it is burned in an engine and turns a crank. What are two classes of energy? Energy can be expressed or it can be stored. Energy that is expressed is energy of motion. That's called kinetic energy. When objects move, that's because they've been pushed to move. No physical object moves without energy first being applied to it. The faster the object is, the higher is its energy. The more massive the object is, well, that makes sense. It takes more energy to move a massive object than a light object. The expression for that in physics is kinetic energy equals 1/2 times the mass times the velocity squared. Velocity here can be looked at as speed. Energy that is stored, on the other hand, is called potential energy. So the two classes of energy are kinetic, energy of motion, and stored, potential energy. What is potential energy? Energy that is stored is called potential energy. Energy can be stored in several ways, and we're going to look at these one at a time. It can be related to position in a gravitational field. We are in a gravitational field here on Earth. The gravitational field on the moon, we're just celebrating the 50th anniversary of the first moon landing, that is a smaller gravitational field. How big a gravitational field is expressed as a little g. The tree on the left, perched on top of a cliff, has a potential energy relative to the bottom of the cliff, and it's proportional to the mass of the tree. The bigger the tree, the higher the energy, and the distance it might fall. Here we have the mass of the tree as m and the height as h, and the energy here is the mass times the little g times the height. What can we do with potential energy? Well, we can convert potential energy into kinetic energy. Energies are interconvertible. The most familiar example converts gravitational potential energy into electrical kinetic energy. A hydroelectric plant, as we see diagrammed here, does this on a grand scale. And much of the electrical energy in the United States comes from this process. As you can see, water comes in from a lake on the left of the diagram and flows down through the dam into the hydroelectric plant. The water flow pushes a turbine. The turbine then powers a generator, and the generator creates the electrical kinetic energy from the gravitational potential energy. Is there chemical potential energy? Well, yeah. Energy can be stored in elements and in molecules. This is chemical potential energy, and it's stored in high-energy elements and molecules. When we react these molecules, they can release their energy and become molecules of low energy. Then we can do some work with the released energy. For example, you can burn a fuel like gasoline to form carbon dioxide and water vapor. This is an airplane engine from a model radio-controlled airplane, and it provides the place for energy stored in a fuel. This is probably an alcohol fuel, to be expressed as motion of the airplane. So the potential energy stored in this case, the alcohol, is released as kinetic energy in the motion of the propeller on the airplane and the airplane itself. Can kinetic energy be converted to chemical potential energy? Well, the answer, as usual, is yes. In fact, many of us do this once or twice a day. Your cell phone or electronic reader has a rechargeable battery in it, probably a lithium battery. When you plug it in to the wall, the electric current, which is kinetic energy coming from the power plant ultimately, it flows into the low energy substances inside the battery and turns them into high energy chemicals. Then, when you use your phone, the high energy chemicals in the battery release energy to run the phone. In summary, energy can be stored, potential energy, or expressed, energy of motion, kinetic energy. There are several kinds of potential energy, including those resulting from gravitational attraction and chemical potential energy. Energy can be converted from potential to kinetic or kinetic to potential, and you've seen examples. But in any physical or chemical process, total energy before the change, before the process, must equal the total energy afterwards. Energy is not created or destroyed, it is conserved.